Hello everyone, welcome back to another video on EM enclosures. Today we're going to be talking about all my future plans and just a whole bunch of big announcements that I'm going to be telling you guys. I have a whole bunch of plans that are going to be coming to fruition this year, and I just want you guys to be let in on them. So this isn't going to be a very entertaining video, but it's going to be a very informational video about the future things we're doing here. So stick around and watch to the end. So the first thing I want to talk about is actually going to be one of the biggest announcements that I have so far on this channel. Now, this enclosure you can see right here behind me, this isn't an ordinary enclosure. All the other enclosures that I have in here are made out of glass, and as you can see, this is screen. Now, if you already know what this is, you're probably excited, but if you don't, I'll let you know what this is. This is a chameleon kit made by ZooMed. It is basically a terrarium just like this, one of the glass ones, except all of the sides are made out of screen, and they're mainly meant for chameleons. So that means that we're going to be getting a chameleon, guys. Now, I got this for my birthday from my girlfriend, so thank you a lot. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be getting a piebald veiled chameleon, but if you have any other chameleon suggestions, like different types of chameleons you'd like me to look into before I pull the trigger on getting mine, leave those comments down below. But we still have a whole bunch of stuff to do. I still have to set this all up. The only thing sitting in there right now is the substrate, and there's just a fake vine that isn't even set up. So we'll be doing a setup video on this, as well as once I get the chameleon, I'll be showing you guys, and we'll do so many feeding videos, and I'm just excited for this. And another quick little thing, if you see here, this was my first crested gecko Maury's enclosure right here. But if you watched the last video, you would have seen that I actually moved him into a new 10-gallon enclosure with a front open conversion kit. So this enclosure is going to be all open for something new. Along with next to it, I'm going to put the same exact size, and we're going to have green anoles along with some long-tailed grass lizards. So I'm starting to make a nice little micro gecko slash micro lizard area right here. I already have my morning geckos down here. We're going to be adding the green anoles and then the long-tailed grass lizards. And we'll obviously be doing bioactive setups, doing a video on both of those, so stay tuned for those. Now the next thing we're going to talk about is actually this enclosure right here behind me. Now, if you watched my video I posted about a month or so ago, it's one of my most popular videos. I did a full custom background and fully bioactive setup for this 3-foot tall glass terrarium. And it's been sitting here with no animals in it, no reptiles in it, just letting the plants do their thing. And pretty soon, we're going to be adding the inhabitants to this enclosure. Now, if you guys have seen before, I may have told you guys in some other videos as some little sneak peeks, we're going to be adding a pair of adult Dalmatian crested geckos into the setup. Now, I know what some people may be thinking. Why are you going to be cohabiting these animals? You should just keep them by themselves. Which, yes, honestly, if you do breed crested geckos, it's smarter to keep them separated for most of the time because they can get pretty territorial. But I have seen people put a pair of crested geckos in a 12 by 12 by 24 or 18 by 18 by 24, and they have done just fine. They live there all year round, and they have no problems. So this enclosure is 18 by 18 by 36. So I'm hoping they have enough space to spread around and be able to have their own space, and then when it's time for breeding, they'll come together and there won't be any fighting. But of course, if there is fighting, I can obviously separate them because there is another place where I'm going to be holding crested geckos that I'm going to show you right now. So if we actually come to the opposite side of this rack where we're going to be putting the green anoles and long-tailed grass lizards, and that is the morning gecko setup. We come right here, you'll see the two enclosures for my crested geckos that I just set up recently. And this space right here has enough room for me to do 3 wide, so 1, 2, 3, 10 gallons with this conversion kit, and then 4 high. So it'll be 3 by 4. So we're gonna have 12 adult crested geckos on this wall. Now, of course, not all of them are gonna be adults because, as you know, Maury right here is still just a juvenile, and along with Splat, my new one down there, is just a subadult. But I am gonna be trying to get mostly adults. That way we can get into breeding. That is the plan with the crested geckos. We're gonna have 12 whole crested gecko enclosures. I'll make a video on each and every one, setting them up. And then right here where this pile of trash is actually, along with this other 10-gallon, is where the baby geckos are gonna be put. So I'm gonna go put you guys back on the tripod and I'll talk more about that. So like I was saying, we're gonna have 12 crested geckos on that one wall. We're gonna be doing a setup for each and every one of them, as well as the 2 crested geckos that we're gonna keep in there. So that's about 14 breeding crested geckos that we're gonna have here at EM Enclosures. And then for the baby rack that I'm gonna be making, if you guys haven't seen other people do it, if you buy the clear plastic shoe boxes or shoe cases that you can take the front, like open the front for to put your shoes and display your shoes like that, I'm gonna be getting around, I'd say, 30 or so of those. I'm gonna be making sure that all the holes are filled and everything so the baby geckos won't be able to escape. And we're going to be having about 30 baby enclosures right next to the 12 adult enclosures. Those will also be all set up. They won't be fully bioactive, of course, but they'll have some dirt, some sticks, some vines, some things like that. So I'll do a video showing you guys how I set those up when the time comes. But that is all the plans that I have with my crested geckos. We're going to be doing a brand new leopard gecko rack. So right next to this rack right here, I'm going to build another rack that has short, shallow tubs that are around the same like floor space of like a 10-gallon or so. That way I'll have about 8 or so of the adults. And right now I only have 4, so we'll be able to get 4 more adults, have them stacked up here. It'll be easier for me to take care of them, easier for me to put them together, have them breed, watch them, everything like that. And then on the other side of the room over there will be where we put the baby leopard geckos. And to show you what I'm going to be using for the baby leopard geckos, it's actually this. This is just a 3-tier Sterilite plastic drawer for like your desk or so. But if you notice, when they're all closed, there's very small gaps for air to get through, but it's too small for the geckos to get through. So this is going to work perfect for all the baby geckos. Of course, I know this seems small, but these are just baby leopard geckos. They're going to be hopefully not staying here forever. Within like a month or so afterwards, we'll try to get these guys sold. So these are where I'm going to be keeping them. We're going to have a whole bunch of them stacked on top of each other, and you'll be able to just pull this out. As you see, I already have some paper towel in there, but we'll have a hide and water and food, everything in there that they need. But this is what we're going to be using for the baby leopard geckos. And because I'm moving all of my leopard geckos onto a brand new rack, that leaves the whole old rack full of 20 long tanks for me to put new animals and do new things with. So I already have some ideas. As you know, I already have an African fat-tailed gecko, but I would like to get an albino African fat-tailed gecko, as well as a Chinese cave gecko. And I don't really know what else I want to put in the others, so leave some comments down below of some reptiles you'd like to see on this channel that would do well in a 20 long for either their whole life or for a good majority of their life. because that's about all the space that I have left in this room is 4 more 20 longs. So leave some comments, leave some suggestions of what you would like to see on the channel. Another thing I know you guys probably miss is my skink. Now, I did just get this skink for Christmas, and I did a setup video, but it was just kind of a temporary setup. Obviously, the enclosure isn't temporary, but all the stuff inside of it, I didn't really make it look too nice. But coming soon, I'm thinking about doing a full custom background on this. Um, and we'll do a full bioactive setup. I know I said that I was going to do that sooner, but I've just been pushing that off and pushing that off. So soon we're going to do something amazing with this skink. I think we'll do a full custom background and all that. So just thought I'd let you guys know some information with my skink. I think that's going to wrap up today's video. I'm sorry, it was just a lot of blambling and rambling on, but I feel this video was necessary. I wanted to give you guys some insight on the things that I'm going to be doing around this room and on the channel. Um, I did already post a video this week, so if you haven't seen that, go check that out. That will be the main video for this week. This video is kind of just a side video letting you guys know, letting you guys in on some future plans and stuff like that. So I hope you guys did enjoy. I hope you guys also stay tuned for all of these plans that I've just talked about. Make sure you hit that like button and consider subscribing. And as always, stay safe, and I'll see you guys next week.